Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about fun stuff and also talk about voltmeters and body voltage measurements and what those measurements mean. And I'm going to answer questions like, can I ground a plant? And if I touch the plant, can I get grounding from that? Or how about a potted plant indoors? Can I get grounding from a potted plant? Also, can I ground my pets? If this sounds interesting to you, please stick around and join me as we get started. Okay, so this is a voltmeter. It's a pretty basic voltmeter, but the thing that you need to know is that the voltmeter, you have to look at the specifications of the voltmeter. The alternating current voltage has to be at the lower range 600 millivolts because the body's alternating current that's being induced by electrical wires, the power lines, the electrical forces, the EMF in our homes run at 60 hertz in the US, 50 hertz in Europe and elsewhere, and those EMFs through capacitive coupling generates an alternating current in the human body. Alternating currents are never natural nor normal in the human body. So how do you measure those currents or voltages? So first of all, let's talk about capacitive coupling. When you have two capacitors, which are basically a conductive plates, and there's an electric field, there is going to be a charge, a voltage that's generated. This is why electric companies forbid you from running copper wire below power lines, because through capacitive coupling, not even physically attaching to the grid, you can actually generate electrical current to a copper wire or series of copper wires and steal electricity and use it. I'm not advocating for you to do that. I'm just saying capacitive coupling is a real thing. So anything that is conductive, your human body is also conductive. We have electrolytes and elements and minerals in our body, as well as neurons that send electrical signals. So we are conductive. So when we're in a field of EMF that is at 60 hertz in the US, for example, there's no way around it. There's going to be an alternating current generated in our body. We can't get around it. So how do we measure it? So this is a voltmeter. So I'm gonna just turn it on to the V with the squiggly sign, and that is the alternating current. And that's what we want to measure, is alternating current. So in order to measure alternating current, most voltmeters start out at DC or direct current. You have to push the function to get to AC, alternating current. Now, there are two leads in the voltmeter. One is the basically test probe, where you actually probe where you want to measure a voltage differential to the negative lead. So that is what this voltmeter is measuring. What is the voltage AC difference between this lead and this lead? So this is why I tell people to ground the voltmeter to either the earth outside, and I use actually a rod and copper wire running into my house and ground this wire specifically. And I got a wire right here, so I'm gonna hook it up. So let's look at the schematic here. So there's a rod outside, wire to this lead. This meter now is grounded outside. So anything that I measure now with this red probe is in reference to the earth. So when I pinch this, I get over 1.6, 1.7 volts AC at 60 hertz. Capacitive coupling generating alternating current voltage in my body. So when I ground my human body to the earth outside, either through grounding products, earthing products, or through physically walking barefoot outside, I negate this electrical voltage that is being generated by AC electricity at 60 hertz, 50 hertz in Europe and elsewhere. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see. People will ground their voltmeter to the same outlet as their grounding product. You're just making a short at that point, a grounding short. What I mean by that is that when I touch these two probes together, the voltage potential is zero. So if you're connecting your voltmeter to a bad outlet that has a bad ground, but the wires connect these two wires together, you think you're gonna be grounded and have a body voltage drop, but you really don't, because you're just measuring the differential between this probe, the red probe, and the black probe, which is zero. So I can do the same thing. I'm pinching the black lead, I pinch the red lead, and my voltage potential between my two fingers, pinching the positive lead and the negative lead of the voltmeter, is zero. I'm not grounded. It is just a complete circuit, and it's a short. So how and why do we use the outlet to ground the voltmeter to check for body voltage? Well, that is probably the simplest way, because most people don't use a grounding rod. I use a barbecue skewer or any metal probe or even a long screwdriver to basically stick it into the dirt and ground my voltmeter. Now, it's not going to give me the most accurate readings, but I just want to see a body voltage drop. I want to see that my grounding product works. I want to see that what I'm doing for grounding actually works. So for the purposes of that, that works too. But if this is actually going deep enough and you get a good ground, you can actually use an oscilloscope and ground it to this barbecue steak outside, which I have, and get good readings as well. I prefer doing all my readings with my voltmeter with a grounding stake outside. So in my bedroom, I have 2 wires and 2 stakes. And the grounding stakes out there are one for the grounding mattress cover that I have, and the other one is to check my voltage to make sure that my grounding setup is working before I go to bed. Now, why can we use the outlet to ground? Well, if you have a good outlet and you have checked that you have a good outlet, meaning that the resistance between the ground outside, the dirt outside, and the grounding rod of the house has minimal resistance between the two. If you want to know how to check your outlets for proper grounding, I have another video that you can go here and you can take a look at how to look at your outlets and confirm that it has good grounding to the earth outside. Once you know your outlet is good, then your outlet grounds are at the earth's potential. So anything you plug in there should be at the earth's potential. That is why we can use the voltmeter with an outlet once we know it's good. But I try to pick different circuits. So if I'm going to use an outlet to ground my voltmeter, I try to pick another outlet that perhaps on a different circuit going to the main board that basically now will give you a good estimate that you have a good body voltage drop. But still, there's problems with that because you're completing a circuit. So when you actually measure it, you're measuring that circuit. And so the voltage potential between those 2 outlets are going to be 0 because they're on this same circuit. So the purest way to ground is to get basically copper wire, get inexpensive copper wire, 14 gauge copper wire, use a barbecue skewer or a screwdriver, stick it on the ground, run into your home, connect it to your voltmeter so you have good readings. Now, if you have taken my advice and use an outside grounding rod for your earthing product, so either a grounding mat or sheet, and you're connected to the rod outside with the earthing grounding rod, then you can use the outlet to check your body voltage drop because now the circuit is right outside, wire goes into the home to your grounding product, to your body, then you're checking with the voltmeter that's now grounded to the outlet that now leads down to the earth. There's 2 grounding rods essentially, the one that you're using for your product and the other grounding rod is the one that the house main is using. That if I'm saying that my body voltage is dropping, it's always in relative to the earth outside. But I hope these diagrams make sense. Replay the video in the last like 3 or 4 minutes again, watch the diagram, listen to what I'm saying, and it'll make sense to you. And just remember that if I just touch these 2 leads together, there is 0 voltage potential between these 2 leads, and that's why it's 0. So even if you have a body voltage drop, like my body voltage is it's off now because it's not grounded properly, but it's off and I touch there, it goes down to 0, I'm not grounded. It doesn't mean my product is good. It does not mean that I'm grounded. It just means that the voltage differential between these 2 are now 0. But if I ground this probe to the ground outside, I make this probe to the earth's potential. So when I touch another grounding source and it goes to 0, that is truly a change in body voltage. One common question asked is, can we ground animals? Absolutely. So this is an earthing sheet and it's connected to a earthing rod outside with a 40-foot cord. This sheet grounds anything that touches it. Let's pull up the circuit and look at how this is set up. So the voltmeter is grounded to the outlet and then the red lead is connected to me in my body. And then as I touch the earthing sheet is grounded outside with a grounding stake. So ungrounded, I'm over 1 volt AC. However, when I touch the grounding sheet, you can see that the voltage drops to just a little bit over 150 millivolts AC. So that is what grounding is. It alleviates the capacitive conductance that is exerted onto my human body, then causes a voltage AC to occur. So when a dog or a pet is also on the grounding sheet, they are also grounded. So this is my wife's dog. And his name is Bentley. Bentley is very sweet and he is a willing participant. So he's been grounding and sleeping on the sheet for a little bit. And it doesn't matter because it's instant contact that causes him to be grounded. But as you notice that when I'm touching him and petting his fur, my body is not dropping. It's still staying well above the 1 volt AC because fur is not very conductive. His paws are probably the most conductive, but there's a lot of calluses on his paws, so there's high resistance. And so when I touch his paws, you see my body voltage dropped from 1.2 volts AC or above a volt AC to now basically almost 750 millivolts AC. So I do get some benefits of grounding, but it's not ideal because he is furry and he has high resistance in his paws. Now, interestingly, when he licks me, which is probably the lowest resistance, as he licks me, it goes down just a little bit more. But I think it's because he has fur and his calluses on his paws are fairly thick. He doesn't really get effective grounding when he's laying on this sheet. And it would have to be probably bare skin or maybe on his belly, but he also has a sweater on because, you know, in Florida, we're suffering from a cold wave like everyone else. And so it's pretty cold here, but not as cold as in the Midwest and my other colleagues in other parts of the country up north. But it is chilly here and we're using a sweater. And as you see that he's licking my hands, it's also reducing the resistance between me and him. And we are getting fairly good conductance now, but not as good as if I use an indoor plant. So let's take a look at that. So I have another voltmeter here to do the next demonstration. So I often get asked questions, can I use an indoor plant? Because if you actually touch outdoor plants, you can achieve grounding. Can I touch an indoor plant and get grounding? So that's the question. So in this setup, my voltmeter is set up to the wall. So that leads to the panel to now the ground outside of the main electrical panel ground. So this is now measuring, this voltmeter now is measuring any voltages in respect to the earth outside. This plant is ungrounded. It's just potted plant here that I brought in because it got a little cold, and it's a perfect opportunity so that I can show you that if I touch it, what will happen. So I pinched the red probe here and you can see that my body voltage goes right up to almost 1.6 volts AC. Remember, this is the capacitive coupling induction by EMF onto my body, causing an alternating current voltage that's occurring in my body. Let me touch this plant here at the leaf. And it actually goes up. It goes up. How about here? The stem causes it to go up as well. If you watch my other videos on how ungrounded grounding products can cause body voltage to go up, it's because the plant itself has some conductivity to it. It has water inside and electrolytes, and it can actually conduct electricity. So capacitive coupling is actually making the plant have an alternating current. And if you go to the Earthing Institute website, there are experiments where people ground plants and they do better. And that's because when you ground a plant, you negate the capacitive coupling induction of alternating current voltage onto living things, such as plants, pets. I have a barbecue skewer outside, and connected to it is an earthing cable or cord that came with the earthing rod set. I'm gonna take the earthing cord and attach it to the barbecue skewer, and then take the barbecue skewer and stick it into the potted plant. Okay, so the plant is grounded. So let's look at the circuit. When I touch the plant, the circuit will be grounding right outside to the earthing cable, to the potted plant through a barbecue skewer, to the plant, to me, to the red probe on this hand here, and then the meter is measuring my body voltage in respect to the earth outside. So right now, my body voltage, AC, in respect to outside, is 1.4 or greater than 1.4 volts AC. When I touch this plant that's grounded, it goes down. Goes down to below 300 millivolts AC. Let me touch the stem. The stem grounds me really well. I go down to 148 millivolts AC. Do you remember the dog only half my body voltage? But here, this plant is able to get me down to almost 140 millivolts AC. I'm going to wet my hand here a little bit because that reduces the resistance between me and the plant, and see if I can increase the grounding. A little bit more, so I get below 130 millivolts AC.
I love trees.
All right, so there you have it. If you have any other questions or any other topics you would like me to review, please post them in the comments below. I try to get to all the comments, but sometimes a little difficult because I am a full-time physician. What I do here on YouTube is a hobby. I enjoy teaching, I enjoy learning new things, and I think this is a very important public health issue. And the reason why I'm doing this is that I have a master's in public health as well. So as a physician with an epidemiological background, I am interested in the health of communities. So if there's something that's causing problems in a community, I am there to study it, to look at it, to learn from other doctors, learn from people like you. So I'm always learning from every single comment or questions, and even from the scoffers who want to come and give me a hard time. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and share, and also hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss my future videos. Until next time, I wish you health and joy. Thank you very much.